Greetings, story lovers. My name is Jan Blake, and this is your Friday Dilemma Tale. Once upon a time, a family were travelling through the desert. It was the new bride with her new husband, her mother and his mother. They were all thirsty. They were walking through the desert when the bride's mother noticed a well. She said to her family, "You sit down, I'll draw water." She went to the well, she looked inside, but unfortunately the leather bag that should have been attached to the rope was actually floating on the surface of the water. She couldn't reach it. So she called over her shoulder to the mother-in-law of her daughter, the husband's mother. She said, "Please, my sister, will you help me?" So the husband's mother came, and the bride's mother, she said, "Will you take me by the ankles, lower me down towards the water skin, and then I'll drag it up and we can have water." So the husband's mother took the wife's mother by the ankles and she lowered her down into the well. But she still couldn't get close enough to pick up that bag so they could draw water. So she called over her shoulder and she said to the husband's mother, "Please call your son. Ask him to take you by the ankles and lower us both down, and then perhaps I can reach it." So the husband's mother, she called, she said, "My son, come." And she gave him the instructions. The husband came, he took his mother by the ankles, his mother who was holding his bride's mother, and he lowered them both down towards the water skin. But it must have been an optical illusion because she wasn't as close as she thought she was and she still couldn't reach. So she called over her shoulder to the husband's mother. She said, "Tell your son to call my wife, his bride, your daughter-in-law, and perhaps she can lower us all down and I'll be able to get the water." So the wife came. She heard the instructions. She took her husband by the ankles and she lowered him, her mother-in-law, her mother, down towards the water. And the mother, she was trying with all her might. Her fingers almost brushed that water skin. But as she was moving, the husband's mother couldn't keep hold of her. She was losing her grip. And before she could say a word, splosh, down into the water went the bride's mother. The bride said, "What was that?" The husband said to his mother, "What was that?" And the mother said, "Tell your bride not to be angry, but I've dropped her mother into the water and I can't see her." The husband called over his shoulder. He said, "Now, wife, don't be angry. My mother seems to have dropped your mother into the water and she can't see her." Now, remember that the wife was holding on to the husband who was holding on to his mother. And the wife said, "I knew it. I knew your mother did not like my mother. And I knew that at any opportunity, she would take revenge on her for not liking her. So this is what's going to happen. You will either drop your mother to pay for the life of my mother, or I'll drop the both of you." And my question to you is, what should he do? Dilemma tales in West Africa are told to promote discussion and debate. So what do you think? Should he drop his mother and go off and live happily ever after with his wife? Or should he die with his mother and leave her there in the desert? It's your story. You tell me.